Hello, everyone. Scotty White of World Combat Sports. Of course, it's the aftermath of the day that we was all waiting for, February 22nd. It went down in dominating fashion. We was able to see 7 frames until the corner of Deontay Wilder actually threw in the towel. Thank you all for who was able to tune in to the live commentary yesterday. It was amazing to be a part of an event like that. Unfortunate American champ Deontay Wilder in his 11th defense came up short, but I truly think he'll be back. And we're going to discuss the fight today. Just give me a minute to have some of the guests on. You come in the building, smash that like button. I know it's Sunday. It was a late night, early morning, but you know how it is. Boxing never stops. Combat sports never stops. So I'm curious to hear your comments today. And even if you're in church, go ahead and drop your comments, man. You can join the live, man, from church. The sermon isn't going to stop, man. You know what I'm saying? Just put your phone inside your Bible and be blessed. Thomas Moreland, what's good with you? Thanks for dropping in, everybody. We definitely want to talk about this aftermath of the Tyson Fury, the current WBC heavyweight champ Tyson Fury, as he went in there and challenged Deontay Wilder, who is now the former WBC champion. It's a lot to be said with that. I'm just waiting till some more people get in here. If you have some comments, let me know so we can talk about them. First of all, I want to know your thoughts on the fight. I thought the first particular round. What's up, Justin Austin? Salute to you, man. Good to see you dropping through, fam. Saw Straight Talk in the building. There's a lot of conspiracy theories and everything, that's going on. And I'll be absolutely honest, it was just a bad vibe I was getting yesterday with that fight. And everything with Deontay Wilder heading in there. It's such a big fight at the MGM Grand. A lot of UK presence, a lot of freaking Tyson Fury fans. Something's uniquely weird about the support of the American champ, because at the Staples Center, the same thing happened. Fans was cheering for Tyson Fury and so forth. He wasn't even the champion. Then you get over here to the MGM Grand, they was booing Deontay Wilder. I'm like, why are they booing him? What did he do for you to boo him? He haven't popped for pads. He haven't been on drugs. And he's basically undefeated, going on his 11th title defense. So the whole vibe was weird, man. If you saw that I was wearing my Top Rank shirt, Top Rank was involved in the promotion. You knew something was popping off. I'm not the person to sit up here and give conspiracy theories to anything. I don't do that. But I do, and I will stand on my square and say that it just didn't seem all the way 100% right to me, or what I was looking at. Now, as far as something being wrong with Deontay Wilder early on, I looked at the fight again, right? I don't think so. Deontay Wilder was active with his jab early. He was putting it out there to the body of Tyson Fury, and he was doing what he's supposed to do, man. He wasn't overly reckless. He was being patient, and that's all we can say. Deontay Wilder looked normal in the first round. In the second round is where Tyson Fury started to make changes. Not so much Deontay Wilder, but Tyson Fury started to make changes. He landed some hard shots. Both fighters landed some hard shots in the second round. If you look at the 2 minutes and 10 minutes into the round, you see who was starting to land. Like Deontay Wilder did land his right hand on Tyson Fury. It didn't have any effect. Tyson Fury was able to start landing. So both fighters start to exchange and gain their distance the way it's supposed to be. Start tightening up early in the fight, because Tyson Fury said he was going to knock out Deontay in the second round. Tyson Fury did what he had to do. He started closing distance right. He was catching Deontay Wilder with that jab, and it was on time. You know what I'm saying? You got to give it up for Tyson Fury for making freaking changes in the fight early. You know, I didn't see it was anything terribly wrong with Deontay Wilder early. You know, yesterday I did. It just didn't seem like he looked right. But let me bring on John Owens, man, onto the live stream. We're gonna talk about this. Jason Brown said Wilder couldn't handle Fury coming forward. Hey, that's exactly what I said yesterday. He couldn't handle the pressure with Tyson Fury coming in like that early. And you're exactly right, man. What's going on, John? How you feel, man?
I'm good, OG. How you doing?
I'm chilling, man. For those of you that don't know, this John Owens, man, he been in the sport of boxing for the test of time, man. You know, his father was a part of the sport way back when. He's been around some of the bigger name fighters that you can imagine that's competed in the sport. So he's just coming here to give his side, you know, to talk that boxing. You know, what's your take on the fight there, John? Talk to him.
I mean, from the beginning, I said from the onset that Tyson Fury will beat Deontay Wilder second time because Fury is the most superior boxer. At 6'9", he got cat-like reflexes, and he only changed up the team to get the power it took to stop Wilder. He always outboxed him, but he got the power now to stop him. And he proved last night that he was a superior fighter on that day. Because Wilder wasn't a shell of himself.
When did Wilder become a shell of himself? What, after the second round? Because I believe that's when Fury was able to touch Deontay Wilder with the jab and really started to get in within range and get Wilder's attention.
That's when he became a shell of himself. You know, that paw and jab, and he just went on sturdy legs from the beginning.
Why do you think that was, man? Do you believe it was had to do with his quick turnaround, you know, coming off the Luis Ortiz fight, going into this fight? Or you think it was just the presence of Tyson Fury, you know, landing early shots that had Deontay Wilder confused a little bit?
I think it was sex, man.
Oh, you think he dibbled and dabbled when he should have been, you know, abstaining and being in another room, man? You trying to say he was?
Absolutely. Absolutely. The red flag that was drawn to me was the weigh-in when his wife was sitting up on the sofa and they was laying across the sofa on national TV. It's like, I don't understand how you take this serious. This is a legacy moment for you. Yeah. This is history in the making for you. You had to take this most serious because Tyson Fury wasn't a bomb they found off the street.
Yeah.
He was the truth. So if he prepared, the whole thing about this whole fight is Wilder did not make adjustments. He fought Fury the way he fought him the first time. Fury went and made all the adjustments and pulled out no stops to secure a victory. That's what you got.
Man, you're right, man. I seen that early on. You know, Tyson, Deontay Wilder, in my opinion, was stepping straight back. You know, when he was trying to defend the shots, he was once again throwing his hands up in the air. You know, but when Tyson Fury stepped in with those stinging, you know, jab that he was putting that jab on the front side of Deontay's face. I mean, that jab was quick. I mean, it was sharp, and it got Deontay's attention. Talk about that third round, man, when he finally got the first knockdown.
When he finally got that, that was the momentum shifter of the fight. As you can see, the frustration was mounting because Deontay Wilder's plan was to go in there and hit Tyson Fury with one punch and get it over with. Yeah. But like I said, in Tunica, Mississippi, when we all was at the dinner table, I said, if Wilder don't get him out of there soon, the duration of the punishment that Tyson Fury gonna give him, he gonna take his heart away from him. And you saw frustration mounted. When you can't hit a man in the ring, your coordination and frustration hit, and you start fighting reckless. You saw Wilder that knocking out people is great, but when you never put in a situation where you got to fight and think, It showed up. The experience factor showed up. That's all you saw. You saw two different men on two different plateaus with two different missions. I mean,
wasn't it the same way in the first fight though when he was chasing Tyson Fury down? You know, he was missing. He still went 12 rounds missing though.
Yeah, but Fury helped him when he stepped in the phone booth. This time, Fury ain't come near him. He only came near him to punch him. But if Fury would have stopped, made the key mistake of going in the phone booth with him, we might not be having this conversation right now.
All right.
But he didn't have the plan to stand straight in front of him this time because he felt that punch. And he know that punch could decapitate him or take him out. So he ain't rolled the dice on that punch today. Last night he ain't rolled that dice. He stayed back away, he boxed. And when he had the opportunity to hit him with good power shots, he did it. He fought the perfect fight.
Yeah, he did. He fought a real good fight, man. Like I said, I looked at it again, and Deontay Wilder looked sharp, you know, in the first round and, you know, early minutes of the second round. But after that, Tyson Fury started popping that jab. Like you said, he wasn't rushing in on Deontay Wilder except to punch, except to get off. And when he did it, he made it count. And we can't take anything away from that. In the third round, why do you think Deontay Wilder looked when he received that knockout, you know, left side of his ear? Why do you think he looked up at Kenny Bayless as if he was saying he got hit behind the head, or he was just in shock?
Yeah, and that's the key. The key was, like, the key to the fight was if it all depended on Fury's action, because we all knew what Wilder was capable of doing.
Yeah.
But we just couldn't believe after, like, the two times he knocked him down in the first fight, we were stuck on that. But we wasn't stuck on the part where the superior boxer and fighter at 6'9" could move like a cat. We wasn't on that part. We just was on Wilder's power. But we saw that in boxing, you have to change your way. And Tyson Fury showed us last night that you got to tweak some things. You got to get into some things. You got to do some things that going to make you feel uncomfortable to win what you got to win. When he changed up the team and he went to Detroit and bought Sugar them, it was going to be a whole different fight. That's when it was, but you ain't hear him in the media say, I got a new trainer. You ain't see that until the weigh-in. He played major mind games with Wilder. And you could tell, because it showed up in the fight. Because from the beginning, if you look the way he crossed the ropes, man, his legs weren't sturdy, man. He wasn't rock solid.
So is that from overtraining, or what is the balance issue that we got going on here? Like, you know, I hear a lot of people saying he wasn't stable and everything. Like, what we talking about?
It's a combination of things. Okay. Me being around boxing long as I've been around, man, I don't have to look at a man to tell you this man has sex. It's going to be in his body. Every man knows that the strongest man is the man with the fullest scrotum. That's blood. You feel me?
Yeah. So
when I see you timid and your legs off balance, see, a punch in a fight, your adrenaline pumping, so a punch in a fight ain't gonna take you out unless a man just hit hard, you know?
Yeah.
But he wasn't really he didn't have no real sturdy legs, man.
I have to say I was impressed with Tyson Fury, the way he was boxing yesterday. You know, Tyson Fury looked the bigger fighter, obviously. He came in at 273, but yet, you know, the way he was going about his offensive game plan is to be respected. He looked the better boxer yesterday. He performed as the better boxer, and he ended up getting the finish and earning the championship as he should have. What's going on, Randa?
Hey, Scotty, how you doing?
I'm cool.
Hey John, how you doing?
How you doing?
Oh, I guess I do. As you can see today, I went back in my stash of hats and put on the moment. This hat was from a Mayweather fight when he fought Maydonna. And last night was the moment that I knew Wilder was gonna lose. Cause when you're at a point in your life and you're at the level of superstar status that he's in, a lot of times we lose the fundamentals, the concrete fundamentals that you should always carry with you so you can stay in a position to win. And on last night told the story rather
Exactly.
it told the story that
Hmm.
uh uh Deontay Wilder is calling the shots, not his coach. I'm not saying that he can't, but when you're at uh, 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 a stage, the he's at a pinnacle in his life. He's at the top, and at the top, there should be someone at the top along with you to say no, that's not right. And if you continue uh, going at this rate, you will lose everything that you worked hard for. So hopefully, last night's fight, Wilder and his team can regroup and decide what his next plan is, if he have a next plan. I mean, who's to say that he have another plan or what? I just saw some things like what John said, and this was taught to me from the one and only John Owens some years ago about men fighters having sex, which makes them lose power in their legs. Last night he had no power when he was entering the ring. His legs were off. And I said it. I said something is wrong. Unfortunately, Dr. K is still asleep from from after last night's fight. And she was the one that pointed it out when he was climbing over the ropes. He could his legs were off. His legs was off, and he was a little bit too touchy feely with his fiance. And I'm not saying that you can't be touchy feely, but for this particular fight, uh, they should have used the same techniques that you would use towards any fight. No, no, nothing in camp should have been something that made him feel happy. Everything in camp should have been something that made him more aggressive and more bullheaded to want to win. And last night it showed that he had an easy camp with all the other stuff that you're not supposed to do to win a fight. If I'm wrong, you correct me. But from that from the first bell sound, Deontay was not the same Deontay that we normally see. But also, Tyson Fury just outboxed him. He was the better fighter. And I love Deontay. He's our friend. But Tyson Fury was the better boxer on last night. And he figured out Wilder's game plan. And like John said, Wilder made no adjustments, none whatsoever. And Fury did. Fury used his weight as an advantage. He used his boxing skills as an advantage. Finally, was able to implement power, which made Deontay look like a what is it, like a raggedy egg? You all know what I'm talking about. When you take somebody and I mean, it was like Wilder didn't have any power on last night.
Well,
No.
you know,
So
it for one, he didn't make
hopefully he can
changes like you
regroup.
said.
I'm still team Wilder, you know, but I do like what Fury brings to the table. He brought to the table what a heavyweight fighter is supposed to bring. When they were clinching, I saw a lot of the shady stuff that fighters do when they're clinching, and he did what he had to do, and he was just a better man on last night.
Let me ask y'all this. You know, leading up to
So, John,
hey,
Scotty, what
hey,
you all
Randy, can
think?
you hear me? Can you hear me, Randa? Randa, can you hear me? John, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I wanted to get your opinion on his corner throwing in the towel. You know, do you think it was the right time for them to throw in the towel, or they should have did it earlier?
They should have thrown it in the towel earlier. One, they should throw it in the towel earlier because one, when a man starts bleeding out his ear, it's dangerous. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so we ain't doctors. We can't see that. He probably could be bleeding on his brain or something could be ruptured in his eardrum. We don't know that.
I can't hear anything.
And what I'm saying is,
I think my mic maybe you may have muted my mic.
We good. I can hear what John's saying. He can hear what I'm saying there, Randa.
I can hear you. I can hear both of y'all, really. They should have threw in the towel sooner. I think
Okay.
sooner. Because one, it was a mugging from the word go. And the thing that I was saying about his trainers, right? Tyson Fury pulled out all the stops to win, period.
Yeah.
When you went to Detroit, you should have known there was going to be a different Tyson Fury that was coming to the table. And they should have knew that for themselves. Because you got the same Tyson Fury, but Tyson Fury added a tweak to the game plan, and that was to knock him out. The first time he boxed him, but this time he punished him. There's no disputing that.
Yeah, no disputing that. Yeah.
He just punished him. Really, Wilder was looking for one shot to get it over. But notice every time that Wilder knocked Tyson Fury down in that first fight, them 2 times he knocked him down, because he was standing straight in front of him.
Yeah.
He didn't knock him down this time because he had no idea to stand straight in front of him. Because once you feel somebody got, like Wilder got power that's undescribable. But power is not everything in boxing. Fury bought you a boxing exhibition. Fury bought you boxing and power at the same time.
Hey, Randy, you're gonna have to mute your YouTube video. Randy, you're gonna have to mute your YouTube video. You're gonna have to listen with your phone, and you're gonna have to mute your video. Hey, John.
Yeah.
Give her the instructions, John. You know what I'm saying?
I think she's gone.
She'll be back though. You know.
No, what I was saying is basically this one thing. The weight that Wilder put on, it wasn't an issue. It's this one thing. And there was an issue. The issue was that one, the Wilder that we know did not enter that building last night. Did not show up.
So if he didn't show up, okay, Okay, I keep hearing he had sex before the fight and he didn't show up. So which one is it that caused him to have rubbery legs when he entered the square?
It's both. What I'm saying, this is what I'm saying. He did not come. Okay, everybody have off night, right?
Yeah.
But which the Wilder that you saw last night was not the Wilder that you've been used to see punish people, knock people out. Them 45 times, man. That wasn't him. It wasn't him.
Okay.
Wilder, what Wilder really did was Wilder practically gave Tyson Fury that fight, man. Let's just be real about it. Everybody want to shy away from this happened, that happened. No, let's face the fact. Wilder gave that fight away. Period.
Hey, Randa, can you hear us? Randa. Hey, I hear you, man. You know, when I look at that fight, when I think of you saying gave the fight away, I would think of it in a way that Deontay Wilder, he didn't make any changes in that fight. You know, he was throwing the 1-2. He landed a couple of times in the first round, and after that, Tyson Fury he implemented what they've been working in the Crunk gym. He turned it over.
Exactly.
Whole nother level, man. He just say, okay, I'm gonna show you how boxing really is, and all that trash talking he was doing about being the best boxer. He looked that way last night. He did. He looked like the better boxer, man. No ifs, ands, or buts. You know, he looked like the better boxer. He landed the better shots. He looked strong. Tyson Fury looked strong yesterday. You know, and when he was leaning on Deontay Wilder up against the ropes, it was easy work for him.
Exactly, and that's what I'm saying. Fury planting his feet in Detroit, and when he got Sugar Hill, and everybody know what they do in Detroit in that gym. Everybody know. From Sugar Hill to Jonathan Banks, a lot of people know Jonathan Banks is with the Klitschko boys. Emmanuel Stewart. Anything that come from Emmanuel Stewart, man, they know what they're doing. They know what they're talking about, and they know boxing.
Yeah.
Mark Breland.
You are totally correct.
It's just things that need to be said openly that the people in boxing won't say. All the no-nots to boxing. JD's need to step out the way and let the world champion Mark Breland have his way with Wilder, man. There's too many yes men in his corner, man.
So
Too many yes men.
So
you got to have one voice in a corner, bro. That's just the way it go. Everybody got to play their position. And last night you saw that whoever is managing Tyson Fury, they are a genius. You hear me?
They are fantastic.
They genius. They are geniuses, man.
Well, isn't Frank Warren, you know, the one that's in charge of that train?
Yeah, he a genius. They made Tyson Fury look like a genius. Meaning, okay, we're gonna flip this. See, Tyson Fury trained to win that fight from the word go. Why you think he was so cocky, so confident in talking? Because he knew what he was up against. Wilder has punching power, but he ain't mentally strong. It showed.
So him going missing the way he did in the first fight, or going through the turmoil with the Luis Ortiz fight, you saying that didn't have anything to do with mental strength? He had to have some mental strength to get through that, right?
Yeah, he had to have some mental strength to get through that. But this is what I'm saying. One, he took the fight. He did. He took the fight. And I'm taking nothing away from neither one of them. But he took the fight. But a lot of time in rematches, when you have people that's experienced, Tyson Fury showed you that he was more experienced than Wilder.
Okay.
He showed his experience. He showed his capabilities, and he showed what kind of fortitude he had mentally going into the fight. He was laughing and playing. How many smiles you seen from Wilder? Who looked more relaxed?
Yeah, Tyson Fury was dancing back there. I mean, I was even saying, I was like, man, Tyson Fury, he hadn't even wrapped up yet. Like Tyson Fury back there playing around, joking and all that. and still
because he
came
was
out there.
prepared mentally. It was just another fight for Fury. Wilder had more pressure on him, meaning Fury smiled the whole way. Press conference smile. You push me, smile, push you back. I'm gonna stop you in 7 rounds. I'm gonna knock you out. He laughing. Wilder, you serious? Why Wilder serious? Because one, Tyson Fury had the superior gamesmanship. You didn't find out he had a new trainer until the weigh-in. He didn't put that in the media. That's a mind
Now,
game, man.
John, he did announce he had a new trainer, but I don't think they knew who the new trainer was. Like you
Exactly.
said, you right.
Yeah, they
Until
didn't.
the
Yeah, they didn't know shit to it. Yeah.
But that's gamesmanship. Meaning now you know when you see at the last minute, how you gonna prepare for somebody that know boxing better than your people know boxing the day before a big fight? How you gonna do that? Because
you're
his
right,
game plan, he told you his game plan.
and when I was watching the press conference, I saw how they were trying to uh, make a point with Mark Breland throwing in the towel. Well, I feel like Mark made the best decision, executive decision, because if he had not, Fury was going. I'm just gonna say this: Wilder, okay, when he was finished or when they ended the fight, you could tell Wilder was in a big brawl. They probably would have been carrying Wilder out, and I don't think Wilder knew or felt how bad he looked, or I don't even think he could feel that his body was limp. His body was weak. And if they're thinking about firing Mark Breland because of throwing in a towel, if I was Mark, I'd tell him I'd do it again, because this particular fight, Wilder was just not prepared for the big explosion that Fury brought to the ring. Like
Exactly.
Joe, he was prepared. He was just prepared. He's the experienced boxer, and he's the best at this moment. He is. He really is.
Well, JD said in the post-fight presser that they work as a football team. Like football, they have offensive, defensive coordinators and stuff like that. And from what he said, JD say he told Mark Breland. I mean, Mark Breland turned to him and said he was thinking about throwing in the towel, and he said, "No, don't throw in the towel." And then sooner or later, Mark Breland threw in the towel.
I'm glad Mark Breland made an executive decision, and at the end of the
Yes.
day, is not on what the fighters say to do. To me, it's on what his corner sees. And at that time, we saw that he was in danger. He was in danger, and it was time for the towel to be thrown in. And if they're thinking about firing Mark Breland for making the best decision possible for a fighter, then so be it. Because whatever it's JB, JD, or J over, he should have thrown in the towel. He should have known that there was a problem. It was a problem. Wilder could not get himself back together. It just was not his night, and he needs to add in someone else to assist, or they need to let Mark Breland take over as the head coach, because he is the Olympian. He is a major fighter, so he knows. And he
I need to
can.
ask you this, there, Randa. Let me ask you this: do you think he should take the immediate rematch?
I don't even know.
Because Joshua went out just as bad as Deontay Wilder when he fought Ruiz. He went out just as bad. Even though they was both on their feet. You know what I'm saying? Joshua was in a bad place. Deontay Wilder was in a bad place. but they rematched. So should Deontay Wilder take this rematch? And is it fair for Tyson Fury to just say, you know what, I want to go for the unification with Anthony Joshua?
I guess on the business side, is the rematch a fight that people would want to see? Okay. So that's the big question. Do people want to see them fight again? And I guess with me, I wouldn't mind seeing it again, because we've always stated that Wilder is a natural born athlete. So if this fight took it to another level where he's not going to be able to just use natural abilities, he's going to have to use some extra fundamentals that guarantees a win. Sure, go ahead and take the rematch and regroup. Add in another trainer to help you reach the highest level in boxing that I think all boxers that's wanting to be a world-class champion should do. So if that means he needs to regroup and add someone else to his camp, then that's great. And move somebody out the way. And I'm not saying fire them, move them out the way and let them do something else besides coach. He needs to keep Mark Breland, because Mark Breland knows. He knows. But some of the other people that's just maybe uh um just standing there, give them another job to do. Because now this is something that you got to do if you're trying to get that belt, unifying the belt. But Wilder's not Wilder,
Nelson said
mhm.
the job made by his team were great to bring Wilder in his level, but it looks like Wilder can beat Fury without learning new skills, and now everyone knows how to beat him. I think he shouldn't take it. He's talking about the rematch.
Well, I
Mark,
think
he says Mark Breland is still relevant. Yeah.
okay, but I think if they make provisions, because this rematch took a whole year for Fury and
Correct.
Wilder. I mean,
From
the fight
December
was
2018.
was in 218. I was at that fight. Okay.
Yeah.
And at that particular time, no one had the advantage. Both fighters went in, I would say blindsided, not really knowing what to do. Okay. And truth be told, now, if you really want to talk about 218's fight, 218, if the referee had accounted the correct way or appropriately, and not give Fury those extra moments of getting yourself together,
Yeah, it
Tyson
would have been
Fury would have
1-1.
lost that fight in 218. So I think they should take a year off, not from fighting, but Wilder needs to take a year to be able to regroup and figure out his game plan to take on Fury again. He probably should take on like some tune-up matches, just like what Fury did. And
But I kind of disagree because Anthony Joshua, when he lost his belt, he didn't take a tune-up. They just went right back into the heat of battle. You know what I'm saying? They did it in Saudi Arabia, but they did return immediately to fight.
but I don't think Fury is going to go back in that ring.
Okay.
Uh, I think Fury is going to enjoy his life, kick it, have a ball, party, like he said, like the Gypsy King, and he has that right. And during that time, Wilder should work on some fundamentals that could put him at the level that is in. And I'm seeing where Nelson Malonga put Mark Breland is still relevant. He is. He's been relevant throughout. I think Mark Breland is the coach that they've been pushing uh, 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 at the back end of Wilder's team. I think Mark Breland should be the head coach because he knows boxing in and out. He's been there. He's done it all. And once again, he made the best decision for Wilder. And it showed the not only that he knew to throw in the towel, he cares about Wilder's well-being, and that was the best decision for him. And at the end of the day, like I still say, I'm still Team Wilder, but I also like Fury too. And both of the fighters are great fighters. Wilder has taken us on a long ride of seeing him win and knock people out of the ring. And Fury just took advantage of being able to learn his craft and add to uh, what he already knew to do to beat him. So
Randy, you seem like you're giving him his farewell speech, Randy. You act like you're giving Deontay Wilder his retirement.
No, I'm not saying it. I'm saying that he needs time to regroup.
Yeah.
Because right now he can't jump back in the ring anyway. He has to, his body has to heal, and it's not gonna take long. He's in the best shape that he could possibly be in. But I think his team or whoever the head coach is, if it's JB, they need to take everything away during camp this time and make
What
it.
about what you think about Justin Austin? Justin Austin said Wilder should not have put on that extra weight.
Well, if
you think extra weight has something to do with the performance,
I don't think the extra weight has something to do with it. I think Wilder was just not the best fighter on last night. Wilder came in weak from the very beginning. So you have to look at the whole fight. That first round told the entire story. Okay. Yeah, he may have gotten in a jab here or there, but Fury came in with ring generalship. He dominated the fight all the way through.
I got you.
So, just like Wilder has said, you win some and you lose some. So he's added an L to his record. But look at all the people he has knocked out. Now he sees he's going to have to add in some boxing combinations to beat the Gypsy King on the next go round.
Between Anthony Joshua and him coming back and getting his title, do you believe that Tyson Fury may indeed try to go over there and unify the title?
I believe so, because now you have top rank Bob Arum. Now Bob Arum has the top heavyweight fighter now. Bob Arum, who is top ranked. They have T. Crawford, who's considered the best middleweight fighter. Don't they have Shakur Stevenson?
Yeah, Shakur Stevenson over there.
And Shakur Stevenson is a fantastic. I like Shakur. He's such a great, mannerable guy. We all sat and talked. Earl Spence fought did his first fight in Dallas at the Dallas Cowboys practice arena. So uh Top Rank, they have some exciting fighters that's, I mean, strategically skillful all the way through. They're not just a one-sided boxer. They have everything that they possibly need in order to win a fight. So hopefully PBC can regroup uh, and get some of the belt. This just may be the year for Top Rank. You know, it may
I
be the
think,
year for Golden Boy. So
yeah, Top Rank making some moves. They've been doing it
they
big
making
anyway.
some
It's not like
major
they haven't
moves.
been doing it big.
They've been
Yeah, they've
doing it
been doing
big
it
a
big for
long
sure.
time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And so
So I'm thinking, with Deontay Wilder, if you put a rematch clause into it, regardless of who lost, they saying regardless of who lost, it's a rematch clause. I think they should do the
right.
they should enact the rematch clause, just to get a trilogy and come back and see. If everybody's saying Deontay legs was, messed up, or everything, him possibly, having sex before the fight, or not changing up and making any freaking big changes in training camp
But
leading up to this fight. Guess what? The only way to prove that he was a better man that night, but just couldn't prove it, he just couldn't prove it in his performance, is to come back to the ring and fight Tyson Fury in a trilogy. It will be less presence. Absolutely. It'll be less presence there, but still, let's make it happen.
no, I don't think it will be less presence there. I think it will be more there because if you're saying this is the last fight to prove who's the better fighter, it's going to be a lot of people there because people would know this is it. Win, lose, or draw. If you don't win this one, you'll never have a chance again. So if they go ahead and do the rematch, I think you there because now you saw people see Wilder lose. Okay, they saw Tyson Fury win. You're gonna have more of a draw on the next go round because they saw a fighter that's normally the champion, the dominator, whatever you want to call him. He's usually the victor or the one that gets the victory. And on last night we
Yeah.
saw something that we've never seen before. So I think if they go ahead and do a rematch the right time of the year, not around Mardi Gras season, because a lot of people are down in New Orleans. I think they're going to have to strategically pick a date to make it not only a household name for boxing people or boxing fans per se. This particular fight will become a household name for everybody on that date.
I think right now people know who they are, so they can come back to the MGM and pick up
No,
another bag.
I don't think they should come back to the MGM. I don't.
Where you think the fight should be then? The warehouse down the
The
street?
fight, the fight should be either at the T-Mobile Arena or it should be, if they're gonna have it in Las Vegas, they should have it at the new football arena that will
Oh, the
be
Raiders.
opening up. They
Okay,
should have it
I
in
got you.
that arena, which means it would give more people a chance to go. Not only that, the ticket prices, they could have ticket pricings in all areas. So people who will want to attend can attend. I've been and still go to all of the uh 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 very fights. But if they're wanting to have a sold out crowd and a lot of people there, they are going to have to lower some of the prices of the seats to uh, fill out an arena as big as that.
Well, yeah, if they have it in the stadium, of course, they can lower the prices because they have more seating. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think it would make it more exciting, and also it'll put heavyweight boxing back at the top like it used to be.
It's a two-headed snake. You know, you can do the rematch, or you can basically um see Tyson Fury try to go for the unification with Anthony Joshua. Those are the two biggest fights in heavyweights right now, man.
Well, I see someone said Wilder's 34. He something about he's a finished product. It's too late for big adjustments. No, it's not. It's not too late because he already has the natural instinct that some of the fighters don't have. So I think a lot of times, especially when there's a fighter out there that a lot of people dislike, they like to end his career. Chance to make adjustments, just like people gave Fury a chance to make
And
adjustments, and Fury came from being not only a drug abuser but also having other issues that would say that he's finished. So to Mr. Dorcezal, I think Wilder has another chance. He has another chance just because he's 34. He's still not finished. Now I think he should fight on up to maybe 36 or 37, and then do something else. But no, he still has a chance for making adjustments. But the adjustments, he's gonna have to bring in a militant type of coach that's not going to deal with the BS that sometimes your superstar fighters, like to throw to you because they are, a superstar. So
I think
if
I
he
think he
removes,
older. He's too old to get a militant coach right now.
no, he's not. He's not.
The older you are, the more stubborn you become, especially if you're a boxer.
No, no. If he wants to win and be able to unify the belt, that's something that he's going to have to take, or he could take walking away and sit down somewhere. So you don't have too many choices. Just
Well, I know,
like
I know, I know for a fact Wilder, he's not going to walk away just yet because you know what I do. He got paid pretty handily, both of these fighters, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. But yet and still, is it enough to retire off of if he's never going to fight again? Even though he has collateral businesses out there, he has a little existing business in the UK, Flatbush in New York, and so forth. Is it enough money for him to survive off of if he's able to retire tomorrow? You know what I'm saying?
Scotty, they still have not added in all of the pay-per-view money, and with this particular fight at hand, uh Wilder probably made close to 100 million off of this fight. So don't let 25 or 30 million keep you at that level. They have not even added in all of the pay-per-view money. So if he decided to retire, he could. I think he could. Now he can't continue some of the extra lavish things that you see Mayweather do, but I think he could live a not, it would be above satisfactory. He could
That's
enjoy
what I'm
his life.
saying. Like when you live in a lavish lifestyle, you really have to be meticulous about your finances if you plan on retiring. That's a lot of residual maintenance that you have to take care of every month.
That's true. That's true. That's true. But we're looking at he have several businesses, and I don't think Wilder is living as lavish as some other entertainers or athletes that we see, but I know he's living a great life. And Wild is a country boy, so he's probably sitting outside on the patio burning some wood, uh, cooking steaks, barbecuing a pig, and that doesn't cost much. So uh, I still love the Wilder family, and
Yeah, like it's a going away.
no, no. What I'm saying is he still
He's
has
saying,
that.
I love the Wilder family. We want to send you our best wishes. We hope the
No,
best.
I didn't say that.
For
But what
Street of
I am
Twins
saying,
promotion, we sending you a care package tomorrow.
no, I didn't. Well, I'm from Memphis, so we get the best of both worlds. We get city
Yeah,
life and country life. So you don't know what you gonna get from us, on a
yeah.
daily basis. But I'm just saying, with Wilder, I think he should be given a chance to have a rematch. And yes, I think he could become the champ. Well, he's still a champion in my book, because it takes more than just winning a fight to become a champion. You have to be a champion outside of the ring. But
Yeah, he only
but
has one loss though, just like Joshua. Joshua only has one loss, man. Deontay suffered his
and
first loss,
count
you know?
up count up all of his KOs. He has what, 41 or 42 knockouts?
Yeah, 41 knockouts.
So he's ahead of the heavyweight division with knockouts. I mean, you cannot take that away from Wilder. But what I am saying is, people said Fury was dead. That Fury could not be brought back to life. And look at what happened. He rose to the occasion and he's there. So giving Wilder the chance to regroup and strategically plan for the next fight, I think that should happen. Then you can say, or we can say, who the quote unquote champion of the heavy division is. So he should be given a chance, just like they gave Anthony Joshua a chance. But of course, Anthony is younger than them, but
He's
he should be
30.
given a chance. He should be given a chance.
Well, he has 30 days to enact a rematch clause. So within 30 days, which will be March 22nd, the cutoff date, we'll see what's up.
I'm reading what Nelson Malonga put. He is the American entertaining heavyweight world champion. We're not gonna miss him. I'm not putting him out. I think he should get some rest right now and come back with flying colors. Work on some of the areas that that you're weak in. All of us have areas that we're weak in, and if you're wanting to be the eye of the tiger or the lion or the beast or the champion, you have to make provisions to get to that level. So you know
I don't
he
know
can
why
do
so
it
many
if
people
he
giving him
wants to
his
do it.
farewell.
I think people are saying, if he decides that he's not going to come back, they have enjoyed the ride. And at the end of the day, or whatever Wilder wants to do. So if he wants to come back, great. If he wants to do something else, great. He has been fantastic. And just like Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali, lost some fights, but he had to regroup to figure out what he needed to do to come back to win. So, it happens. It happens.
Absolutely, I agree.
It happens.
But we're in the era right now where our boxing fans and the people on the sidelines, they quick to place judgment on certain fighters. And this is Deontay's very first loss. So y'all need to understand that, just like Joshua. Joshua, no one was riding him off from coming back. We knew he would be back. We just didn't know how he would look. It seems like more so Deontay Wilder, they want to kind of give him the Heisman and keep him on the outside because you have Anthony Joshua out there with the unification looming in the horizon. So if by chance, Fury wants to go over there, I don't know how the contract is going to play out, but I know in the contract they have a rematch clause. So either one or two things going to happen. He isn't going to take the immediate rematch and then go over there to fight the unification, or he's going to, period. And that's going to determine everything. Deontay Wilder coming back for a trilogy, it will still be entertaining to the fight fans. I want him to come back for the rematch and let's see what's going down. He has 30 days to make that happen, and we should hear something.
Scotty, when he comes back, I'll be at that fight. See, look at it from this perception, Scotty. Streeter Twins, we thought this fight was a non-factor, was not important. So if we thought that way, maybe Wilder thought the same way in camp. You feel me? And now we see this fight was very important because the underdog came in and won and took your belt. And so if when he comes back, if you are so he's gonna get, I think, a better more people would want to see this rematch.
Yeah, I hope it happens because they deserve a trilogy. It's not 1-1 right now. It's a draw. Fury's ahead because he was able to get the stoppage, not just win. Fury was able to get the stoppage, and it was a legitimate stoppage of applying punishment to Wilder. His performance displayed. He showed that he was a better fighter that night, hands down. He dominated. They threw in a towel. He made them capitulate, and now on to the next. Wilder need to regroup and come back, and let's see it again. And then if he's able to get his title back, then he will be considered one of the best heavyweights of this era, man, hands down. But last night he lost. There's no question of that. There's no question.
Yeah.
And come to find out, his ear, they found out his ear had a cut. He had a cut inside his ear, but they didn't say anything about his eardrum being ruptured.
I think my sister was she was her Dr. K, where did you get that information? And she was like, well, anytime your ear bleed, okay. I'm just glad, Scotty, that we all decided to stay home, because this would have been a hard ride back to Memphis from back. That would have been
You ain't never lied.
Fight. So
you ain't never lied,
that
man. You
would
ain't
have
never
been
lied.
the longest walk, the hardest walk, and the back home. It's funny how we were thinking the same way, saying, "Oh, this fight ain't gonna matter. We just gonna stay at home." And I guess it was a reason for to stay at home. Not trying to.
And then you remember you said it was gonna be raining over there too.
Yes, I did say that, but
You
let
said
me
it was
ask
gonna be
you
raining
this.
over there too.
But let me ask you this, Scotty. Now you have two Wilder heavyweights that have an L on their record. Uh, I'm wondering what is Marcellus doing, because I have not been able to pull up any footage, lately, and I'm just wondering how, because of Wilder receiving the loss on yesterday, how you know, I just hope Wilder have Well, he has a big family, and I feel like they probably have people in positions to, lift them back up and get them back on the road of superstar stardom status, championship level. But I hope today he's resting all the way to go back and come back as hard as he can, or, or you know whatever what he wants to do. So
Travis, he said, by
that
the way, the score is Fury won.
somebody put, I
Travis,
think
you might have misunderstood what I said.
what did
I
they
might
put?
have been talking
Travis
too fast.
put, I think.
Travis, speaking of,
Okay.
I said they're not
Oh,
1-1
yeah.
right now. But
Somebody well, look like he put. I think he.
your audio is lagging there, Randa. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay. Hey,
Okay.
Travis, I was basically saying that the draw. I was saying the draw is they had the first one as a draw, and then Tyson Fury won the second. We all know it's not 1-1. I'm not sure if you heard me wrong or whatever, but I wouldn't say it's 1-1. Let's go to a trilogy. I'm saying it's not like it's 1-1 because they had to draw the first time, and then this one was a win for Fury. So going into the trilogy, of course, if Deontay Wilder wins the third one, it's just like a rubber match. It's 1-1. Period. It's really nothing else to talk about.
Did John disappear? Scotty.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Okay.
so.
Okay. But
But
I know that
go ahead.
I was gonna say, don't you remember when Wilder fought Fury for the first time? Don't you remember he stated during camp he had his family with him? Do you remember that?
Who had their family?
Wilder. Don't you remember when he was in camp to fight Fury for the LA fight? He
Uh-huh.
had his family with him throughout camp. Well,
Oh, okay. Yeah. I got you.
okay,
Yeah.
now, when that was back in what, 218. I disagree
Yeah.
with that because there's a reason why during camp privileges are taken away so you can be the beast that's needed in that ring. And with him having his family there, it made camp life wonderful when it should be what it was
Uncomfortable.
set up to be, uncomfortable. And if everything is so comfortable for you, when you get in that ring, how are you going to produce what's needed to win?
Willie Harvey said, Willie
Okay, I'm
Harvey,
looking at what.
yeah, he said, I knew it, man. Wilder need to work on his arsenal. All he got is a right hand. People just scared of it. That's what carried him so long. He has no skill and don't know what to do when he's under pressure. I mean, a lot of us would agree he didn't know how to make changes yesterday under pressure. And that's been the case in other fights too. You know, we saw it with King Kong Ortiz. You know, we saw it. That was exposure right there. We seen him subjected, but yet he was able to rebound from that and stop Ortiz. He's gonna have to go
Yeah.
back to the drawing board, man. And we need to see this trilogy. We can't just discount the champ already just because of one loss. You know, we just can't vilipend him or jettison the fact that he hasn't, you know, he was 42-0 with 41 knockouts. We just can't put him to the
He
shelf.
he he has time to regroup, and he's going to have to bring somebody else to the team that that can make the major adjustments that's needed. And Wilder needs to be the student, not the leader this time. They need to bring in someone that get him to the point to be able to beat Fury now. Now you know Fury's game plan, but Fury is not finished yet because Coach Sugar is one of the best coaches out there. So um he has to find a coach that's ready to take on Coach Sugar. I'm gonna say that. And of course we know on Fury, but he needs to find a coach that's able to out coach Coach Sugar. So things that need to happen. And people are saying that he has no skill. He has some skill. He needs to add to what's been able to get him. So adding in other fundamentals that he doesn't know that needs to be added, so he'll be able to uh fight Fury and put Fury in a position where he can know what to do. But let Fury tell you can put in a position. And so it's a matter of him figuring out his game plan, uh uh added coaching that he's going to need if he's or try to get that WBC belt back.
That's what's up. We'll see what happens in 30 days. We'll definitely see what the plan of attack is going to be on his return. Wilder still has some boxing left in the tank, period. He still has some competitive spirit. I think he's still motivated. We will see.
Yeah.
You know, he reigned over 4.5 years for a reason. So let's see how
Oh
he
yeah.
does in adversity and returning to the ring. That's all we can hope for.
Yeah, and all he needs to do is talk to Adrian Broner. Broner knows what win and defeat feels like. He knows what a win feels like. He knows what a defeat feels like. He's gone through it several times. And the Charlos, well, one of the Charlos, he knows what defeat feels like. Uh he needs to. Well, I don't. He needs to ask Mike Tyson, but I don't know if he and Mike Tyson.
No, that's
Or
the wrong person to ask.
yeah. He needs to. Well, I'm not gonna say what he feels like. He's feeling it now. So, if he wants to rise to the occasion, he can.
Yeah.
And whatever decision he makes is his decision, and I'm behind him 100%. And I think now, because Wilder has been a champion for so long and giving the advice to up and coming fighters, now he has to practice what he's been preaching. I think that's
Oh
what's
yeah, he
happening.
has to definitely. That's something he has to.
Yeah.
Hey,
Hmm.
I appreciate you stopping through, Randa, as always. Street of Twin Promotions, SNS Matchmakers. Appreciate you stopping in. I'm gonna bring one of the other media persons on the chat.
Okay.
I'm gonna see if they want to come on and talk about the fight. But it's always a pleasure, man. And we're gonna do it again, of course. You know what I'm saying? Shout out
Okay.
to Memphis in the
Okay.
building. Shout out to Memphis in the
All right.
building, and look forward to seeing you at your fight card.
Yes, 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 yes. And
All right,
look
man.
forward to seeing you at a mega fight as well.
Absolutely. And thanks for the advice for not attending this fight. You know what I'm saying? I would have felt some type of way if I would have went out there to this fight and went home. Nah.
Scotty, I think that we would have saw the worst in everybody. This past week.
Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I'm glad that I don't have to take that ride back or today.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
All right. Take it easy. Thank you for
right.
dropping.
It was good
Salute to
talking
you,
to
Ren.
you all.
All right, then.
Have a good one. All right. Bye.
What's up, everybody? Man, it's been a short night. I'm waiting on another person to see if they want to join and get their input on the fight and what's gonna happen. You know, what we think gonna happen. You know, y'all have to understand Deontay Wilder only has one loss, man. Yeah, he's 34 years old. He'll be 35 this year. It's, you know, you can say what you want about his age, but still, he has some competitive spirit to compete. He still has you know, enough skill set to go in here and compete with the top tier heavyweights. It just doesn't go out the window because he lost last night. You know, he lost last night because, like we said, Tyson Fury came in there with one of his previous coaches before, and he made the adjustments. You can tell the difference between who was teaching Anthony Joshua and who was teaching freaking Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury looked superb yesterday in the way he was fainting. He was being unpredictable. You know, he'll act like he's throwing that jab up top and go to the body. When he came inside to chop Deontay down with his 1-2 combinations, he made it count. He just didn't do it recklessly swinging for the fences. He went in, got out, and then when it paid dividends in the third round, I believe it was around 30 some seconds. I mean, he really went in on Deontay Wilder, landed the hard shots, was able to get the knockdown. Once Deontay rose back up, he didn't get all wild and sporadic. He still maintained his patience, poised as the fighter he was, using what he used in Crunk Gym. And he was very efficient with it. You can't take too much from Tyson Fury. Yeah, he came in at 273 and he used it amazingly. And that's opposite of what I said now. You know what I'm saying? I basically said he has to carry that weight around. He has to carry that payload around in the bout. Well, he really didn't have to do too much because Deontay Wilder was coming towards him a little bit. And like I told you yesterday, Tyson Fury was going to get in close and he was going to hold. He was going to lean on Deontay. And even in close, he was able to do some dirty boxing. We talked about that yesterday. Everything that worked out with him gaining weight, he applied it to that specific measure of why he gained the weight. It wasn't so much the power. It was more so for him to lean on Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? Fatigue him a little bit quicker while he was delivering punishment. Did his punches look a lot more effective towards Deontay as far as his power shot goes? Yeah, but you have to look at Deontay just going straight back in line. You know, it's just like Andy Ruiz and Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua was able to land a jab on Ruiz because he was right there in front of him. Same thing with Tyson Fury. He was right there to land that jab, that powerful jab on Deontay Wilder, who was standing right there, dead center. It was easy. Deontay Wilder wasn't moving around as much. He was pretty much doing what he always do. that was able to get him to a certain point until you ran into a boxer like Tyson Fury that was able to in and out, move around, then come back in, land his combinations effectively, and hurt Deontay Wilder. You know, it was a superb game plan that they had. They did it well. They did it to perfection. And that's what happened when you go up there to Detroit and get those crunk gym coaches. You know, Emmanuel Stewart, shout out to the legend himself, man. I know a lot of people say, well, Emmanuel Stewart, he didn't do nothing. He picked up fighters when they was already champions. He's still well known for his, training, period. You can't take that away. He's well known for that. Willie Harvey said that the only way Wilder wins a trilogy if he works on his craft. And a lot of people have been saying that for quite some time. Work on your basics, your fundamentals. We're talking about your combinations, moving, foot movement, maybe do some road work. Just work on your lateral movement. Nelson said, I think Lennox Lewis could be an option. Could we see Lennox Lewis as a trainer? I'm not sure if Lennox Lewis will want to be the trainer like that. Lennox Lewis has full-time gigs as a commentator. So therefore, I don't think he will really invest his time into training Deontay Wilder. I don't think that's one of his areas of responsibility that he want to dive in wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? And commit to that. I don't think so. Peter said Wilder, one-trick pony. Talks about his boxing IQ. Last night, Wilder was defeated by a more dominating fighter. You know what I'm saying? The better boxer. Saying that he didn't have ring IQ, still, he went to the 7th round. I still say he has underrated ring IQ. But when you take ring IQ with what people have been talking about so many times about fragmented fundamentals, then the two are going to clash one way or the other. Because if you feel like you're taking punishment from your opponent and you want to hurry up and get that back, well, his mindset may at that moment say, let me just go what I'm used to. 1-2, 1-2. And Fury was ready for it. Fury put his hand up. He blocked the right hand. The only time Deontay Wilder had success with the right hand was in the first round. You know what I'm saying? And then the second round, he had a little bit of a success, but Tyson Fury started to make those pertinent changes, and the fight changed. The tide switched tremendously. Boomerang Gang, what's good? What's good? He said, World Combat Sports, at least we can now finally possibly see undisputed in the heavyweight division between AJ versus Fury. It may happen, man. It may happen. Absolutely, that may happen. Indeed. We will see what happens in the next 30 days. What's truly important about this rematch is the fact that the first bout, just like Gennady Golovkin and Saul Canelo Alvarez, it's needed. It's not just something that we're going to talk about age. Let's not go there, because we need to understand and dissect and peel back the pages the right way if we're going to give the privilege to some other fighters, but not the one that we choose to just hold accountable for everything. If you want to talk about Canelo Alvarez and Triple G, they had a draw the first one. Then they came in there and fought again, and Canelo won. I can guarantee you those two will fight in a trilogy. So who's to say Triple G taking the loss from Canelo, we won't see him back in the ring again for a trilogy? It's gonna happen because it's money. The two fighters have brands. Their names sell tickets. It may not be as grand of a viewership than the first time they fought, but Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury is the exact same scenario. The first one they had a draw, no matter what you want to say, the judges or whoever, it was a draw. Then you come to last night, Fury won, hands down, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. You can take all the variables that may have played a role in it, but he lost. Deontay Wilder lost the fight, period. So is this fight going to filter off and we're not going to see ever a trilogy? If it needs to happen, it needs to happen immediately, because Deontay is 35 years old and it's going to be less entertainment value to see him a year from now coming back into a rematch with Tyson Fury. Nah, you need to get it while it's hot. Get it while it's hot. You know what I'm saying? Rematch these guys for a trilogy because it's in the contract for a reason. So freaking rematch them, determine who's the best heavyweight, and then go back, across the pond and fight for unification bout. Now, it's already been said by Eddie Hearns that he's going to try anything and everything possible to make this unification happen as soon as possible. He's going to do anything he can to make this happen as soon as possible. Believe me. I mean, I can only imagine Eddie Hearns coming up with money, trying to see how many commas that they can provide for Tyson Fury to step in and have that fight over in the UK. Man, of course, you can see it right now. They're going to try to have this fight in Wembley Stadium. If it's anything Eddie Hearns have to do with it, they're going to try to go to Wembley Stadium. That's what they're going to try to do. But I truly believe, in all honesty, that Tyson Fury and Top Rank and PBC and all them, they should indeed give Wilder the rematch if Wilder wants it. If Wilder doesn't want the rematch, then people are gonna look him as like he really took punishment that fight. But then it can't be because of the ear, because Tyson Fury had a real bad cut, and the cut wasn't even a factor yesterday. He still came in after taking the punishment from Otto Wallen, going over to the WWE, facing Braun Strowman, then returning back to the ring and facing Deontay Wilder with that cut. And it was a non-factor. Deontay Wilder landed a couple of right hands, didn't affect him, and the rest is history. Congrats to Tyson Fury for his victory. But I'm not discounting Deontay Wilder as being finished with the sport. Champions take loss all the time, man. So we should understand he took his L. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be on here with criticism. That's just the protection that they have behind the screen to try to hold people accountable that's out here, for combat sports media. It's all good. It's all good. The door is open. The door is open. I'm one of the most non-biased media that's out here. I just didn't cover Deontay Wilder. I cover boxing and MMA, period. Nelson said he needs to enhance his defense and combination. That's absolutely verified through his performances that Deontay Wilder goes straight back with his defense. He needs to change that up. He need to make sure he maintains that distance like Tyson Fury did yesterday. And when Tyson Fury actually was at the doorstep of Deontay Wilder, he executed his punches at the correct distance, knowing that Deontay Wilder was going to go straight back. Look at the knockdown. Where did he knock Deontay Wilder down at? As he was headed back to the ropes. You know what I'm saying? The same thing happened in mixed martial arts. Look at Tyrone Woodley and Darren Till. Darren Till was set up by Tyrone Woodley. Tyrone went back to the cage, and Darren Till thought it was time to rush in. Tyrone Woodley knew that, and he unleashed and threw that right hand and knocked Darren Till out. Tyson Fury pushed Deontay Wilder back to the ropes. He knew right then there was nowhere else to go. And when he landed that two-punch combination, it was nothing that Deontay Wilder could do. He didn't have any more real estate behind him. He didn't have it. So he down goes Wilder. Down goes Wilder. It was a good knockout. Peter said, I would say if Wilder gets his boxing skills on point and not look for that one shot, he would be a deadly boxer. I said this a while ago, and that's a good point, Peter. That's a good point. I said this a while ago, that Wilder would never be a pure boxer. He's just too far in the boxing game to make drastic changes. It's no way that you're going to get a pure boxer. But can he make changes that's going to be proficient in returning for a trilogy? Absolutely. We've seen it with Tyson Fury. But the one thing about Deontay Wilder's changes, they're going to have to be enough to get the respect of Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury showed the blueprint how to go in here and defeat Deontay Wilder. He did. He came up with a master plan, him and his team over there at Crunk Gym, and they went in there and executed phenomenally. It worked out perfectly. So right now, Deontay Wilder is going to have to come back in here with a solid strategy and work on some wrinkles to his defense, and also coming up with much more variety of throwing his combinations. He just can't throw a 1-2 combination, hope the right hand land, and then keep on pressing forward. You can't do that with a fighter like Tyson Fury, who has respectable footwork. You can't do that. You just cannot do it, y'all. You can't do it, man. He needs to work, look at the film, and you know, work on setting those combinations up solid. Not the 1-2, maybe a 4-punch combination, man. Learn how to punch, you know, moving forward, going backwards. I did see Deontay Wilder throw a right hook, you know, off the back foot trying to catch Tyson Fury. But if you don't do it all the time, it's not going to come as easy. It's not going to be a natural reaction. If you look at Tyson Fury, how he feints and feints, that's his natural. That's who he is. He's able to throw punches with those feints out of nowhere without even looking obvious as to what he's about to do next. I mean, give it up, man. He had a good game plan. J Blast 407 say Andre Ward was right. But check this out. Andre Ward doubled down on his freaking comments. You know what I'm saying? Andre Ward, if you're talking about Andre Ward saying that he don't think that Deontay Wilder would be in a hurry for this rematch, what are we talking about? Because that's totally different than anything we have going on right now. You talking about Andre Ward saying Deontay Wilder will be hesitant about a rematch? Because I don't think that's even remotely close. You know what I'm saying? Because his thing was that Tyson Fury performed so well in the first go round that Deontay Wilder is going to take what he got in the draw and keep it moving. He's going to take his title and he's going to move on to the next. And Deontay Wilder wasn't nowhere in shape and form saying, nah, that's what I'm going to do. Now I'm a warrior. I'm going to give the rematch. I'm going to go back and fight Tyson Fury because that's what I want to do. I don't understand what you were saying about Andre Ward was right. Unless it's something that he said last night. Hey, be more specific, J Blast 407. Be more specific. Stephen Kelly said head movement and using his jab coming forward. His hands and his jab come from a point that is entirely too low. The jab and hook are offensive and defensive moves to set up the fight. A part of that I agree with Stephen Kelly for sure. I mean, I understand about, you know, having hands up or coming from a lower position. But some fighters can throw the jab from the belt line. You know what I'm saying? We see it all the time. Look at Tyson Fury sometimes on how he has his hands behind his back. He be playing around. But yesterday he was strictly business. He had his hands up. He was letting go the jab. When he got off with his combinations, he was solid. So I don't know, man. It's a style thing. You know, heavyweights, you have some that fight with their hands down by their waist, and you have other ones that keep their hand up in the boxing stands, you know, the proper boxing stance, and able to deliver that jab with the combinations from up top. I don't think it's a big deal with Deontay Wilder. He just needs to work on his consistency with the fundamentals of boxing, y'all. For real. He just needs to work on the fundamentals. 4-punch combinations instead of 2-punch combinations. Let's get some 4-punch combinations. Let's work on foot movement and not just standing flat-footed in front of a beast of a heavyweight. Carlos Padilla, Wilder is used to being a taller fighter. Wilder has no fence, just a pull counter right hand. I can't disagree with that. He does have a pull counter, and that's if he's able to pull, first of all. He was able to do that with Luis Ortiz pretty much, because Luis Ortiz being a southpaw, that worked out good. But with a fighter like Tyson Fury and his training team looking at the film, they came up with a solid plan, man, for who they was in there with. They came up with a solid plan, and it worked out perfectly. Tyson Fury looked the part. The weight that he was carrying suited him very well. You cannot provide any criticism for Tyson Fury coming in 273 and not fighting like a giant. He fought like a giant yesterday. He fought like a giant, man. Some people saying Deontay 231 pounds slowed him. I don't think so. It was something going on, but I just don't know what it is. And I truly don't think it was the 231 pound weight limit that he came in. I don't think so. Carlos said right hook is dangerous punch to throw to many counters. Yep. We seen Rigondeaux do it to Solis. Rigondeaux was exiting and he was throwing that right hook easy. Rigondeaux's a southpaw though. You know what I'm saying? We seen it last night. Who was throwing that right hook out the exit, out the back door? It wasn't Navarrete. It wasn't Navarrete. I don't know. It might have been Sebastian Fundora. It might have been Sebastian Fundora. If you didn't see that fight with him and Daniel Lewis, that was a really good fight. Really good fight. Peter said, I'll tell you what happened was Peter say, hey, Wilder should have never met the Pope. Listen, I can't think of many fighters that went over there and met the Pope in between big fights. I don't put too much emphasis in him going over there meeting the Pope, which had a role in him losing this fight because the first fight was close. The draw was close. He didn't go meet the Pope then. So I don't put too much emphasis in him going to meet the Pope. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Jay Blast say that they say the uniform Wilder had on was very heavy. Unless it was like the armor that they wore back in the day before they went to battle with swords and iron ball, spike hammers and all that, it shouldn't have mattered that much. I mean, he didn't have that far to walk with that uniform on. Now, if it was like a flak jacket we have to wear in combat, where you have a sappy plate in the front and back of the jacket, then we might be talking a little bit differently. Like, okay, once you step over in the ropes and take that flak jacket off, your legs might be a little bit gippy. But I don't put too much emphasis. I just thought the uniform itself looked a bit satanic. I wasn't gathering the black like you was going to a funeral type deal. I just wasn't getting the concept of the skulls on each shoulders, the skull on the belt line, the glowing eyes. I didn't really grasp the perspective on where they was trying to go with that outfit. Like you go from bright, glistering, like you wearing the garb of a king. You know what I'm saying? Like you wearing the robe of a ruler. Both fights with Dominic Brazil and freaking the last fight he had with Tyson Fury. You know, those were it. The one he had with Luis Ortiz. I mean, those outfit was nice. But the turn to the all black outfit with skulls on each shoulder or breast, a skull on the belt line, I didn't see where we was going. I mean, it looked cool for a superhero movie, but I didn't get too much from it. Like, it didn't pump me up to say, oh, he's going to war. Okay. This is the battle formation I've been waiting on. You know, Deontay Wilder's ready to cross over into enemy territory and defend his title. I didn't get that. Travis said Deontay Wilder was 219 for his fight with Ortiz. He only put on about 10 pounds. Yeah, I agree. You know, he put on a little bit of weight for Ortiz. To come up 231, he's gradually been increasing his weight because he was fighting outside, you know, the backyard of cruiserweight. So when you're talking about being able to win still, being 209 in the single digits, well, you know, they made the changes. Say, why don't we put on a little bit of weight, keep your speed up, and so you can have some more energy in there, you know, have some more power. But with Tyson Fury, 231, it didn't matter. When he landed that right hand on Tyson Fury, it was transparent. Tyson Fury didn't even flinch. Right then, when I seen him land that right hand on Fury, and Fury really didn't show any reaction to it, I knew the fight was going to be different. Like, it was going to be different, man. And it was different. Travis said the Pope has absolutely nothing to do with the loss. That's one of the insane fan invented excuses. I'm not going to put too much emphasis in him going to see the Pope. He wouldn't have seen the Pope. Cool. You know, more power to him. But the fact remains, last night, he was defeated. In my opinion, he's still one of the best heavyweights on the globe, period. I still think he's one of the best heavyweights in the division, hands down. You can't sit up here and hurry up and say, okay, well, Anthony Joshua, he goes in front of Deontay Wilder. You cannot do that. You cannot place that from a boxer who had the title for 4.5 years, going on his 11th defense. Anthony Joshua has not been on a streak of defending his titles like Deontay Wilder. And when he took his L, Anthony Joshua took his L in the worst way. You know what I'm saying? He was stopped. What round was it? If you think boxing doesn't have these moments to link up together, what round did Anthony Joshua get stopped? What round did this fight last night was stopped? I mean, this is crazy. Anthony Joshua was stopped. Deontay Wilder's corner threw in Deontay Wilder's corner threw in the towel. Was it a legitimate stoppage? Yes, it was. I really didn't lose any sleep over the stoppage. I was disappointed on Deontay Wilder backing straight up again and being punished for what he's been able to get away with. And I knew right then, yesterday, he wasn't going to be able to get away with it. Like, you can see the look on Tyson Fury's face. He wasn't going to allow Deontay Wilder to be so comfortable in getting away with throwing a 1-2 combination and watch his work. And then if nothing happens, then return to the same spot. No, Tyson Fury wasn't waiting on him yesterday. He wasn't waiting on Deontay Wilder to take the lead. Tyson Fury dictated his offensive game plan, and he did it perfectly. Y'all think that Tyson Fury should take the unification bout with Anthony Joshua while he has the belt? Because we know he's going to get paid again. Put it this way, balancing the scales, right? who stands to make the most money? I mean, Tyson Fury stands to make the most money and coming in for an immediate rematch with Deontay Wilder, or taking it over there for a unification bout, because I'm pretty sure Eddie Hearns will try to make that fight at Wembley with the paycheck, with the purse. But if I know anything about Tyson Fury is going to try to have the fight over here in the U.S. And Anthony Joshua is not trying to come over here to the U.S. and fight Tyson Fury, who they love. Look, people, they love Tyson Fury over here. The BS that they used to say about Anthony Joshua coming over here and he's a global superstar, nah. Tyson Fury is global. Anthony Joshua is UK oriented. That's it. So if you're Tyson Fury is going to try to take Anthony Joshua back to the US for undisputed unification heavyweight bout. I would be surprised if we get word that Frank Warren, Tyson Fury, and everybody else has agreed to fight Anthony Joshua at Wembley. I'd be surprised. Okay, Peter asked a very respectable, solid question, man, when it comes to boxing. He said, who wins, AJ or Fury? And the way that Tyson Fury looked, the way I've known him to be, but more so the way he looked last night, Anthony Joshua will get the same business. Anthony Joshua will get the same business. Seriously, he would give Anthony Joshua the business. We all know Anthony Joshua. What does he have for Tyson Fury? Tyson Fury would bully Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua is so robotic. He has some of the same 1-2 as Deontay Wilder. But one thing I can say about Anthony Joshua is at least he would go. Some of them have the same. I mean, if we take the last Anthony Joshua who used the ring, he was on his bicycle, then okay. He's going to be able to get out of the way and have Tyson Fury chasing him down 273 pounds or whatever. He's going to make him come to him. That's the only thing I can say about Anthony Joshua. But as far as that 1-2, he's predictable, just like we were seeing Deontay. You know what I'm saying? He's always been robotic to me, Anthony Joshua. He's always been robotic. But I got Fury easily. I have Fury easily. No doubt about it. Fury wins over AJ. Absolutely. We all agree with that. Jay Blast said, no, Nelson. Fury got his attention in the first round. Fury did pop the jab out there and get Deontay Wilder's attention in the first. You know, he popped the jab out there. Woke Deontay up. Travis said, Fury is great for boxing. If you love boxing, you got to at least like Fury. I said this before when I used to be so critical of AJ. I've always been critical of AJ because it's two things that bother me about Anthony Joshua. One is he's willing to fight only where it's comfortable for him, and he's trying to cement his legacy on that side of the pond. He wants everything to happen in the UK. He wants all the ponds to be in place, and he wants to make sure he get the results that he wants. That's Anthony Joshua. The other part to Anthony Joshua is he was overrated. I believe Anthony Joshua, the way he obtained his titles, it showed when he faced Joseph Parker and went the distance for the first time. And then when we see him step in there with Andy Ruiz. Anthony Joshua, in my opinion, even with the rematch, getting his titles back, we all know that Andy Ruiz made him look as good as he did on that night. It wasn't too much special about Anthony Joshua. He's not an entertaining fighter to me. But I believe he's extremely overrated. When it comes to Tyson Fury seems like the type of guy that's approachable, like Jerry Cooney. Jerry Cooney, meet him for the first time. He was playing around, never met the guy in my life. smiling, joking, talking about boxing. Very approachable fighter. Tyson Fury gives off this vibe like he can fit anywhere. Like if Tyson Fury goes anywhere in the world, he will be the party. You know what I'm saying? That's Tyson Fury. He don't need a hype man. He don't need a group around him. You can see Tyson Fury rolling around and he's going to make the party stand out because that's his personality. That's who he is. That's who Tyson Fury is. Joshua don't come close. Joshua don't come close to what Tyson Fury has to offer globally for the sport of boxing. Don't come close, man. Anthony Joshua isn't approachable, except if you're in his circle. When he came over here to the U.S., they placed only UK media in his perimeter. Tyson Fury, he doesn't care. Tyson Fury would call you a dosser to your face. He don't care if he has security or not. Like Tyson Fury would answer the questions. He would talk to freaking US media. He doesn't care. That's why people like to say, okay, Tyson Fury's coming. Okay, cool. I know we're gonna get some sound bites. We're gonna get some one-liners, and he's gonna talk that trash. Anthony Joshua, no. Travis say Fury smokes AJ, and we agree on that, no doubt. Nelson say the only chance for AJ to beat Fury is to get inside and land his uppercut and left hook. Nelson, I'm glad you mentioned that uppercut and left hook. You know he threw that uppercut like 6 times against Joseph Parker in mixed, right? So we know Joseph Parker isn't better than Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury is a much smarter boxer than Joseph Parker. We've seen that. Joseph Parker went the distance, lost his title with Anthony Joshua, turned right back around, went in there with who again? Lost? How do you come back on a short return and lose to Dillian White? How does that work? So if he missed his uppercut, we're talking about Anthony Joshua was holding behind the head, trying to shoot that uppercut. He tried to hit Joseph Parker when the referee was breaking the fighters. That uppercut, I didn't see it playing out too much with Andy Ruiz. Just think about it. What effect did it have on Andy Ruiz 2? What effect did it have in Andy Ruiz 1? Not so much, but I extract that uppercut. Now you want to talk about his combinations? Then okay, he's probably able to be effective at certain points in the fight. But he tried to shoot that uppercut on Joseph Parker, and he didn't land not one time. Carlos Takam, same thing. Alexander Povetkin. We talking about an old Alexander Povetkin. I don't put too much credence in his bout with Alexander Povetkin in Wembley Stadium. I don't put too much emphasis on that. But if you're talking about going in here with getting on the inside with Tyson Fury, with Anthony Joshua, I'm telling you people, listen to me. Tyson Fury would teach Anthony Joshua a valuable lesson. A valuable lesson. Believe me. He will make Anthony Joshua look like the school kid that's boxing out of the YMCA. Seriously. I mean, I just see Tyson Fury, his intellect when it comes to just being a crafty individual in life. Hear me when I say a crafty individual in life. To be as grimy as Tyson Fury is, to be a person who live on the edge, you know, that's Tyson Fury, man. He's a wild child. That's who he is. The gypsies are wild type of people. He would give Anthony Joshua a lesson. Nelson said the only chance AJ is to beat Fury is to get on the inside, which is solid points, man. Y'all making some solid points, you know, but we're talking about Fury. Travis say AJ has the personality of a cardboard. Look, listen, when people talk about AJ, man, I can't do nothing but laugh, man, because You know, he said AJ has a personality of cardboard, man, and it's funny, man, because I agree. You know, he remind me of a shopping cart, man. You know, you walk past shopping carts in the parking lot. If you really don't need one, you don't think about it, but they just there. You know what they use for, but apart from that, what are they good for? You know, I mean, AJ is just one of those very boring individuals who want to work out in the gym, be a model, and act like he's the best boxer ever without putting in the work. But that's a good one, man. You know, Nelson say, I know what you mean. Travis say, damn, dude, you know your boxing respect. Hey, for sure, man. Appreciate it. Jay Blast say, what do you think about Tarver as a commentator? That's a good question. And I'll tell you. Tony, look, Antonio Tarver knows how to commentate. Man, I've been around him at bare knuckle fighting. Real talk. And even though he wasn't there for a long time, I think it was because of money issues. I don't know what it was, but I did an interview with Antonio Tarver, man, and he will sit up there and give you the timeline. He will tell you point blank period from start to finish, and he will break that down for you. He will give you the clarity that you're looking for in the narrative he's trying to explain when it comes to breaking down a fight. I like Antonio Tarver as a commentator. Will they have him all the time? I don't know per se, but I respect Antonio Tarver commentating to a point. You know what I'm saying? I do. I respect it. I like hearing how active he is in ad-libbing. You know what I'm saying? How much energy he put forth to commentating. Now, Andre Ward, you know, Andre Ward can have glasses like me and have a crispy line and dress in a blazer. But sometimes Andre Ward commentating is a bit boring, you know. It's a bit plain to me. I would rather listen to Timothy Bradley be all theatrical and, you know, upbeat than listen to Andre Ward come in like, yeah, just take your textbooks out. No, better yet, log into your computer. You know, he just gives off that vibe like he's the professor of boxing. And we all know that Andre Ward, when he, you know, had his bouts with Sergey Kovalev, we know Andre Ward has touched the cameras plenty of times. Andre Ward has been down to the cameras, right? People seem to forget that when they're talking to Andre Ward. Even though he may have an undefeated record, they tend to forget he faced adversity. They tend to forget that, yeah, he was champion, but look how he went about winning the title, or look how he went about in earning the victory. He took some adversity. So now we see Deontay Wilder going through adversity. Andre Ward should have been saying, like, I know what that is. I know what that feel like. I've been knocked down before. I know what that feel like. He'll be back. You know, that's what he should be saying because he's been there before. But he gets a little boring to me, man. That's uppity British cardboard. Okay. I haven't seen uppity British cardboard, but you know, hey, if you know Anthony Joshua, I was a bit disappointed with when he came over here to the US and they had selected UK media surrounding him. And outside of that, outside the view of the cameras, they had security. So it wasn't going to be like that. You have any US media coming over to join in on the media scrum and ask Anthony Joshua some hard questions. No, this was pre-selected media strictly for Anthony Joshua to feel nice and calm in his comfort zone. I didn't appreciate that, man. You don't see that with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury, man, he'll go up here and talk to anybody. Deontay Wilder, he'll talk to anybody. But Anthony Joshua, let's see what's going to happen when these two face off and they really find out who has more boxing fans. You really find out who likes Tyson Fury and who likes Anthony Joshua. I guarantee you it's going to be somewhat like we seen yesterday. They're going to be booing Anthony Joshua and they're going to be cheering Tyson Fury. Period. Seriously. That's what's going to happen, man. That's the only thing you can do. Boo Anthony Joshua. You know, he's not exciting. He say the same thing. Point, note, right? Point of reference, right? If you ask Anthony Joshua something to the point where, how do you assess your performance with Andy Ruiz the first bout? Well, look, you saw the fight, right? This Anthony Joshua. I talked to people about this before on how Brits will sit up here and give you the numeric countdown as if you're not competent enough to understand or interpret what they're talking about. So they will itemize it with numbers. They love counting with their hands. So just as Joshua, how did you really assess your performance with Andy Ruiz? Well, did you see the fight? Yeah, of course I saw the fight. You know, I'm asking you about your performance. Okay, if you saw the fight, you know, when I came to the ring, my manager, what did you see my manager doing? What did you see? Your manager was walking with you? No, you saw him rubbing my neck. You've seen that, right? So what goes through your mind if a manager is rubbing the back of the fighter's neck? I don't know, Anthony Joshua. You tell me. Well, you know, he's massaging my neck because, you know, that lets you know I wasn't in the best of conditioning. You know, I wasn't feeling right. So he was massaging my neck. Okay, let's move on to the first round. How do you assess your first round? So did you take a look at Andy Ruiz? How did he look? He will always put questions out there for somebody else to answer. For one, Andy Ruiz, you know, he did land some punches and he was the faster fighter that night. But I really didn't feel he was doing too much damage. And then in the round that he was, you know, I was able to catch him. Did you see me? I was able to land that shot and drop him. Did you see that? At that moment, one, he was on the ground. Two, I was saying to myself, he may not get up, but let me prepare myself if he does. Three, he's up, he's standing. So now I have to go back in the war and prove to him that I can continue to fight. And I mean, Anthony Joshua always want to break down the scenario, you know what I'm saying? And just put you in a whirlwind instead of just answering the freaking question. You know, he dropped Andy Ruiz early, but yet when Andy Ruiz returned that to him, he didn't have nothing for it. And then when it comes to, well, Anthony Joshua, what was going through your mind when the referee came to you? I was perfectly fine. You know, my gum shield was on the floor and I'm looking at my gum shield and I'm looking at the ref and the ref is asking me questions and I'm like looking at the ref to look at my gum shield back to the ref. Like, you see my gum shield there. You know, I'm used to freaking taking my own timeouts. What are you going to do? So I'm hoping the ref reached down and pick up my gum shield. And after I receive my gum shield, the ref is still asking me questions. I'm okay. I'm looking around at my corner. I'm saying, what is this guy doing? Do he know who I am? I'm Anthony Joshua. Give me my time to recover. I'm being a little facetious, but Anthony Joshua will take you through a whole storyline of BS, man. He will take you through this situation where he knows he's absolutely guilty of stalling. When he spit his gum shield out on the floor, Anthony Joshua had indeed did that before. Look at him doing the Joseph Parker fight. Anthony Joshua ripped the tape off his gloves and took his own freaking time out in the Joseph Parker fight. Don't nobody talk about the times that Anthony Joshua creates his own freaking timeout. Look at the fight between him and Vladimir Klitschko. The exact same ordeal with Anthony Joshua. spitting out his freaking gum shield, man. Dude, he's a good role player. He will ask you 10 questions instead of answering the one that you have already sent his way. You know, he would sit up there and say, for one, he should have asked me, did I want to place my gum shield back in my mouth? Two, I didn't think he was giving me the attention that I needed. So I'm looking around at my corner saying, you know, who is this guy in front of me? You know, who hired him to be the referee? No, we don't want that. Nah. Anthony Joshua, man, he takes his own timeouts during the match. He's one of the primary numero uno stallers of boxing when it comes to him needing a second win, him needing to take a rest. Anthony Joshua is the scholar at that. He will spit his mouthpiece out. He will find something wrong with his gloves. He will do something to take that time out to catch his breath and then return. That's what he does, man. Look at his bouts. I'm not lying. Look at his fights. And I'm looking for my T Kazi. I don't know exactly what that means. Jay Blast, what you mean, vitriol? What you mean? If you're in the building, smash that like button, man. But yeah, you know, that's Anthony Joshua. Really, right now for me, seeing the unification bout in the heavyweight, I really want to see the unification. We haven't had one since Lennox Lewis. Forget this lineal, man. Kudos to Tyson Fury for maintaining his lineal championship. Man, I swear to goodness, man, Tyson Fury has been talking about this lineal forever and a day. I would like to see the unification in the heavyweight division. I would like to see Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua if Deontay Wilder immediate rematch is off the table. I would like to see them two fight next. Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua. Absolutely. And I would like to see it over here in the U.S. But if Eddie Hearns has anything to do with it, he's going to try to bring back to Wembley Stadium, you know, bring the carriage of pyrotechnics and dynamite. Make sure Anthony Joshua gets the grand entrance as always, you know, levitating stages, pyrotechnics shooting up from each side, you know, his grand entrance over there. But I think Tyson Fury and Frank Warren is much smarter than that. Seriously, I think they won't allow that to happen. So let's just pray and pray some more that we'll be able to see Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua unify. If Deontay Wilder isn't immediately signing on to take that rematch, I hope he does. And then let's have it over here in the U.S. Let's have it over here in the U.S. Let's do that. Did you see the bout between the Filipino Jael Santismia and Emmanuel Navarrete? Emmanuel Navarrete improved his record to 31-1, 27 knockouts. The pressure and the way he's able to move, throwing punches, people need to tune in on how Navarrete boxes. He has a beautiful skill set. He's able to get away with loosely throwing some shots, but the shots never place him in a point of danger. He would throw 1-2 combinations like he don't even set it up or anything, but he throws them right outside the punching range of his opponent. And then when he's able to just get in his stance, settle in and throw his power shots, he can do it. Or he can throw some solid straight, you know, down the line combinations while he's on the move. And if you looked at him when they finished and the post fight, he barely had any freaking scratches on his face. You know why? Because dude is a masterful boxer. He knows how to use lateral movement in the process of throwing his punches. He employs defense with offense on the move. Before he stopped Santismia, he placed his hand up on the ropes like he was lounging, and he was looking at Santismia like, man, it's different levels to boxing. It's different levels. And he closed out Santismia after doing that. He hit him with what, 25, 30 punch combinations. He forced the referee to stop it. It wasn't like he was wild, reckless, but he was tenacious in closing distance on his opponent. And man, he destroyed him. He forced the referee to step in, man, and stop the fight. And the good thing about that was his 5th title defense. And Navarrete may indeed be moving up to 130. And listen, I told y'all the other day who's at 130. If Navarrete goes up to 130, y'all, I'm saying it right here. He's going to be a champion at 130. Easily. Easily. You already know who's sitting at 130. If you don't know, I'm gonna take you through some names at 130, y'all. Emmanuel